it comes to your football team? What's hanging out there with you in the NCAA?
Yeah, again, I can't comment on anything that's related to that.
But I guess how are you going to keep it from being a distraction? I guess. You know?
I know you're going to get tired of hearing this, but I can't comment on it, on any aspect.
You were talking about the offensive line earlier today. You said you feel like you have 10 starters.
Yeah.
There are 2 spots that starters are leaving that do have to be filled. I know you brought in Ladarius Henderson and Drake Nugent. Among them are. Do you consider them at that left tackle and center spot right now, or how are they coming along?
Yeah, center. I think you have 2 starting centers. You have Drake, and you have Crippen and Drake. Both are, we think, starting caliber. You know, we even think they're both Big Ten caliber, all Big Ten caliber, possibly even all American caliber. There's an example of who's going to start? We're going to start the best player. How are we going to know who the best player is? They play the best. I see that at tackle too. Barnhart, Trente, Miles Hinton, and Ladarius. There's 4. I mean, 4 starting tackles. I mean, you know a starting tackle when you see one, and but that's also going to have to play out.
In 2018 and 19, Brenda Tracy's about Sacramento's conduct, sort of educational campaign. What was the decision to not bring her back after COVID? Is there?
There was never any decision not to bring her back. She came back. She was an honorary captain after she spoke to our team.
Since 2020.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan of Brenda. She's impacted not only our team, then went to my brother's team, and been to a lot of teams. And I could probably give you we have a long list of people that talk to our team pretty much daily during training camp. We're looking to learn and grow at any possibility, any and every opportunity.
Jim, after what happened at the end of the Michigan State game last year, do you have any concerns that rivalry has gotten too nasty, and is there anything that either program could do about that?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is mutual respect, tremendous competition, and that's what we're striving for.
Do you have that for Michigan State right now?
Yes, we have that for Michigan State.
Do you feel that?
A mutual respect and it is great competition.
Do you feel that's reciprocated?
That's unknowable for me to know that.
Have you spoken with Mel Tucker since the incident?
No.
Jim, I think you used the phrase cultural momentum.
Yeah.
When you're coming off 2 years where you're Big Ten champs, you made the playoff 2 straight years, is it any different at all, motivating or pushing a team in a season like this as opposed to a couple of years ago when you didn't have this level of evidence of success? What is it any different in year 3 when you've been so successful the past 2 years?
I would just, in the conversations that I have with the players, where I used to tell them a message, say, for example, they will tell that message to me now. Coach, it doesn't matter what we did last year. It doesn't matter what we did the last 2 years. Now we're doing it again. And the only time that matters is now. That would be my evidence. Yeah.
What do you think are the biggest things that have been different the last 2 years that have allowed you guys to beat Ohio State and get to the top?
With like a lot of things, a lot of little things that people think are little things or the minutia. I mean, it's really a thousand little things. It's the work. I mean, always, if you ever analyzed it or took it apart, you'd understand that it's the work, the compiled work.
I don't think we've spoken to you since Josh Wallace joined the team. Why did you feel the need to bring him on, and what does he add to the quarterback room?
He's a really good player. We were, really good players were wanting to come to Michigan, and we're gonna keep taking really good players as long as we can.
But he's vying for a starting role at the point.
Yeah, I would. I predict that. Yeah, that he's got the license and the ability to do that.
Jim, is there anything specific to Georgia that you do during the Beat Georgia period?
Yeah, the emphasis is stopping the run and being able to run the ball when the other team knows you're going to run the ball. That's what I really respect about that team, their ability to run the ball when the other team knows they're running the ball, and to be able to stop the run.
Jim, much has been made of the, Blake Corum's return, of course, having Donovan Edwards, but what is the plan to integrate some freshman running backs and maybe underclassmen into this unit?
The plan, to play the best players. I think the real challenge, and it's a great challenge to have, is the amount of playmakers that we have on offense at the skill positions, and really just dictate that we have got to get the ball to Blake so many times a game. We got to get it to Donovan, that pretty much that same amount that Blake does. There'll be a third running back that'll be designated touches per game. The three wide receivers, equal reps, equal targets for those three and touches, and the tight ends. And there's four of them, but especially the top two guys, and to be able to spread that out, it's got to help to be able to. How hard that would be to defense is a thought I have in my head. Like day would follow night. That would be. You would expect that if we can spread that out where everybody eats, everybody touches the ball, and we can come back on a Sunday and look at that game tape from Saturday and go targets, hit the targets, hit the targets, hit the targets, hit the targets, targets, and then be able to see that on those targets went all over the field, horizontally, vertically, and everybody was able to contribute, and possibly they didn't know where the ball was going at any one time. That's a challenge for our coaches, for us coaches to be able to utilize the talent that we have on the offensive side of the ball, especially at the skill positions.
Have you had a team like this with that kind of positional depth across the skill positions?
All that's to be determined, right? But my honest answer, no, I don't think so. And I don't think I'm wrong. I think they're that talented.
You, Jim, how has it benefited you as a coach and the program overall? You delegated some like line on offense a couple years ago. How's that helped you guys?
Pardon me?
How has it helped the program over the last couple years when you decided a few years ago to delegate some of like line and offensive coordinator? How has that helped you as a coach and helped the program overall?
Yeah, it's been a real joy to have such a tremendous coaching staff. The defensive coaches, the offensive coaches, the special teams coaches. I'm thrilled with the coaching staff, and they're just so good. They're at a level. People ask me, I was asked the question today, like who are your mentors in football? Who do you talk with? Who do you go to and talk football with? And the answer is I just walk down the hall. I walk down the hall, my own coaches. I mean, they're like, the relationship is the same as it is with my brother, who's also a football coach, that I have with the coaches that are on our staff. And when I walk down that hall, I mean, every time you hear engagement. You know, there's not people in their offices just with the doors closed. They're together. They're talking football. It's defensive coaches are talking to offensive coaches. Special teams coaches are talking to defensive and offensive coaches. It's back and forth. It's tremendous dialogue. It's a tremendous collaborative environment.
What's your scheduling philosophy for like the first month of a football season? When you're trying to build things out and get your team ready.
Day-to-day practice.
I'm just talking about like actual games, like that first month of a season. What are you really looking for when you're building the schedule? You know, several years out.
So I really haven't built a schedule since I've been at Michigan. I think the last time I had input on a schedule was Stanford, my first couple of years. So you're talking about who we play, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't. It's not something I am involved with. Who we play.
The players have talked about a championship with us kind of mindset going into the season. Do you agree with that? And what's your take on that? I mean, is that something that you feel is going to be championship with us for this team?
No, I don't. Champion bust. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's not real. I mean, same as we always are. I mean, the way we go into every year. You know, our goals to win the championship, to win the national championship, to beat Michigan State, beat Ohio State, beat Penn State. I mean, we have so many good teams that we play, so many football fights. But yeah, and I haven't heard one football player say championship or bust. I know I've heard that media-driven, slogan, but that means nothing. That word bust.
You made a statement 2 years ago here that you would beat Ohio State or die trying. How confident were you at that?
That actually means something, doesn't it? That actually means something. I meant it.
The idea, and referring here, the idea, I think behind the Beat Georgia drill is it's like a stated goal towards we want to beat.
Say it again.
I think the idea behind the Beat Georgia drill is we want to beat the best, the national champions. What is the power of speaking that goal into existence? It's something like that.
Yeah, I think you said it really well.
Can you say it back to me?
You said it really good.
Jim, just to clarify, is that in addition to the beat Ohio State drill, or is that replaced the beat Ohio State drill?
In addition.
You compared JJ to Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen earlier.
Yeah.
I think he'll embrace that type of lofty talk.
Yeah, as I said, I mean, I can repeat all that if you'd like me to.
No, I mean, do you think JJ is going to sort of be?
Yeah, he's got the physical, athletic attributes, and then all the arm talent, accuracy, velocity, decision making, and intangibles. And he also has what the great ones, in my opinion, have, which is a willingness to do anything for their teammates. When I watch how Patrick Mahomes and he interacts with his teammates, what he says about them, what they say about him, I watch Josh Allen, what he says about his teammates, what his teammates say about him. I mean, you just know it when you see it. It's the same thing I see, with JJ and his teammates. I mean, he's willing to do anything for his teammates, and therefore they know that. They know what's in another man's heart, and they would follow him. And I I've suggested that. I mean, follow JJ anywhere,
And he won't.
and I would.
He's not the type that to be pressured by that.
No, I think you were right the first time. He embraced that.